Hey guys, this is lesson 5.6. It's the same thing that we've been doing, except this time they don't give you the boxes whenever we have to subtract to regroup. You just have to write them up above the numbers. And this is a really good lesson because this is a habit that you need to get in without putting the boxes, because you will be doing this forever. So it says Carmen had 50 game cards. Oh, by the way, we are on page 348. So if you need to get there now, pause this and do so. Then she gave 16 game cards to Theo. Now this gave right here lets me know that we're going to subtract because you're giving something away. You're minusing. How many game cards does Carmen have now? How many game cards does Carmen have now? So we need to take 50 and subtract 16. Then we ask ourselves, more on the top or more on the floor? There's more on the floor, so we've got to go next door and get 10 more. When we go next door and get 10 more, we take a 10 away from the 5 and we just add it over here. So all you do is take this number and put a 1 in front of it. Okay, if it would have been a 3, it would have been 13. A 5, it would have been 15, but it's a 0, so it's just 10. Then, since we took 1 away from this and gave it over here, we've got to make sure that we know that. So 5 minus 1 that we took away is 4, and then we can just subtract like regular. 10 minus 6 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, so come down here and look at number 1. 38 minus 19. We always start with the ones place. More on top or more on the floor? More on the floor. So we got to go next door and get 10 more. When we do that, we add 10 to the 8, making it 18. And we take 1 away from 3, making it 2. 18 minus 9, that's a doubles fact. 9. 2 minus 1, 1. Okay. Now look at number 2. 65 minus 32. We look at the number in the ones place. More on top or more on the floor? More on the top, so no need to stop. 5 minus 2 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3, so my answer is 33. 50 minus 12. More on the top or more on the floor? More on the floor. We got to go next door and get 10 more. When we get 10 more, we add it to the 0. 10 plus 0 is just 10. But we took 1 away from the 5. So when you take 1 away, we're left with 4. 10 minus 2, 8. 4 minus 1 will give me 3. So my answer is 38. Okay, do 4, 5, and 6. Pause this to do that now. Do that on your own to practice. This one right here, number 4, you can add a 0 there if it will help you. Okay. Looking at page 349, we've got some more little problems up here. 41 minus 24. More on the top or more on the floor? More on the floor, so we got to go next door. We get 10 more. 10 and the 1 will give me 11. And if I take 1 away from the 4, I'm left with 3. 11 minus 4 will give me 7. You can figure that out by counting backwards if you don't already know it as a fact. You can say 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 3 minus 2 going to be 1, because remember I told you guys, anytime you're subtracting numbers that are side by side, whenever we count, it's going to be 1. 6 minus 5, 4 minus 3, 3 minus 2, 9 minus 8, you're always left with 1. Let me find a good one here. Okay, number 12, 37 minus 6. We ask ourselves, more on the top or more on the floor? More on the top, so we don't need to borrow. We don't need to go next door and get 10 more. We know that 7 minus 6, they're beside of each other, so it's 1. 3 minus nothing, is just 3. Again, you can add a 0 there if you please, but you don't have to. Pause to finish these. Okay, do not do number 15. Let's look at number 16. Adam takes 38 rocks out of a box. There are 23 rocks left in the box. How many rocks were in the box to start? Okay. So when we write this problem, it's going to say 38 minus something will give me 23.
With homeroom teachers in Miss Foster's room.
Okay. So then we can just reverse it and say that 38 minus 23 and write what we get. Okay. So we don't even have to borrow on this one because 8 is larger than 3. 8 minus 3 we know is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. So 15 rocks. Oh, wait a minute, no. Adam takes 38 rocks out of the box. So we need to add the 15 plus the 38. So let's do that over here. Plus 15 plus 5 is 13. Add one more. 3, 4, 5. So it's actually 53 rocks. That one was tricky. Okay. Then we have your mid-chapter checkpoint, okay? This is just a review of everything we've learned, so I want you to do this page on your own with your practice and your homework.